Hi,
Hi, I'm Katja Melvin, and we are here
and
for,
I'm Markella Mitchison.
for another
She
episode.
forgets about me all the
For
time.
another episode of She Talks Podcast with Markella.
Good Lord. I told her sunglasses were cute, so we had to start off with sunglasses.
So today we are talking about women's voices.
Yes.
And how women need, I don't like using the word need because we all need, we all should, but why, right? Why do women need to use their voices? Why do women need to express their opinions? Why do women need to share what they stand for? So let me ask you this question, Markel. What is your take on why women choose their voice?
Oh gosh. We don't have that much time. Number one, I think it's liberating. I think women are holding too much inside. I think that it's also therapeutic. It's not good to keep things inside, right?
Mhm.
So I think when it resonates with somebody else, it can help them, it can benefit them to show people that they're not alone. That would probably be my top three.
So Markella here is the organizer for the event that we hear called She Talks. That's literally the name of our podcast. That is literally why we're doing this.
Literally, not figuratively.
She, strong, hopeful, powerful, right? Well, no,
strong, hopeful, empowered. Basically, same thing.
Same thing. And women are sharing their stories. Women are sharing their stories of overcoming adversity. Some women sharing stories of loss. Some women sharing stories of being paralyzed and recovering from this. Some women are sharing stories of not having any place to live, figuring out their lives. And so women are standing up on their feet.
And some are just happy stories too. It's not all
it's not all.
How can I say? It's not all like
someone.
I asked someone to speak and she said, "Well, I don't have any drama." And I said, "It doesn't have to be drama."
Really?
Said,
there's a woman that doesn't have a drama.
I said, "Yeah, I'm not going to name. You know who you are." But I said, "You'd be a great speaker." And she said, "Well, what about?" And I said, I don't know, like you're, well, I don't want to give it away, but anyway, I gave her a couple topics, right? Yeah. And she runs her own business and she has kids. Anyway, so she does a lot of stuff. And she goes, "Yeah, but I don't have any drama." And I said, "You don't have to have drama to be a speaker." I said, "You can be inspiring and powerful." And, and she goes, I don't know. I just feel like it wouldn't be as impactful or insightful. And I said, no, we mix them in, we mix them in. And so anyway.
In fact, Markella, when we were organizing the event, either this event or prior event, I don't know, it
was this year. It was, can you believe it was this year?
It's so crazy.
I called it last year and everybody said, no, that was actually March. Right? It was only a couple months ago.
So she was very particular to put speakers in an order where it's not like one heavy story after another heavy story after another heavy story. It's more like, all right, we're going to do a progression here. We're going to split it into sections.
It takes me like it does 2 weeks to put together the order, and everybody wants to go in the first half. And I just simply can't do that because I'd have.
Yeah, somebody needs to go in the second half.
But remember, speaking of order, do you want to? I put you. Remember last year, I put you last because I was like, I need a really good, impactful ending person.
Right.
And I had that this year too. But I think not so much this year. I think everybody stayed this year because I think we kind of tightened it up. We didn't have a lot of in between.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we did not have a long break. So anyway, impactful story.
We didn't have a break at all.
We didn't have a break at all. Yeah. Impactful story in the end is very much needed. Why would you want to the event of this caliber?
That's what I'm saying. Well, and yours was very like heartbreaking too, but it had a good ending.
Yeah. Oh, that's how all of my stories are. I know there's depth to it, but there's always a lesson. So on that subject of sharing our voices as women, I want to really see personally more women speaking and sharing their stories on social media, in podcast settings like Markella and I are doing. I want to see more women stepping up into their visibility and really finding value in sharing their story, and most importantly, finding their mission, right? Because every single woman went through something. As if she's a business owner, most likely there is something that moved her to that. For me, it was I couldn't work for someone, right? I couldn't work for someone, and I needed to find a way to step into my power, and it requires tons of guts to do that.
Right.
So I believe every business owner went through something similar to overcome that fear of, oh my God, it's unknown territory. What am I going to do? Who's going to be my clients? And it requires that courage. And when I share my story of, yeah, I was right there, right where you at right now, and exact same feelings and exact same fears, and look at me now, things worked out. And over years, I learned that things always work out, and that
Trust
elevates another person, right? It elevates that woman who is just about to take on that journey. It gives her strength, it gives her hope, it gives her inspiration.
Absolutely.
And that is the reason why we should be sharing our stories, because other women need to hear them from us.
Going back to, you think women should, why do you think women don't share their stories?
Because they don't believe that they're valuable. They're afraid to be seen, or they're afraid, and there are some silly reasons like, oh my God, I don't look good on camera. Like really, is that gonna prevent you from sharing your heart? That's gonna change life of
it doesn't have
woman?
To be a video. It could be, it
that
could be
shows.
an article.
Exactly.
It could be, it could be anything.
Yeah. And I guess my, in the beginning, my story of why I wasn't sharing my story was because I was afraid people are going to judge people. I'm going to stir up controversy. People is not going to like what I have to say. They're going to start arguing with me.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest one is I think, I know that was for me, definitely for, just again, being a business owner and particularly me, not necessarily sharing my story, but sharing some of my my viewpoints, I think, and owning a networking group, and then stepping into sort of my side project, which is She Talks. I think I definitely got some, I don't want to say, like, kind of raised eyebrows, right? And like, well, why are you doing this? Why, what about HRG? I feel like you're spending more time on this than HRG, but I think it's because
that's where your heart is at. That's where your mission is at. I believe businesses can't sustain if you are not passionate about it. If you are not obsessed about your mission, like if you are not obsessed about the mission that you're here to fulfill, your business will not stay, because it requires way more effort and way more commitment. And if your heart is not there, it's not gonna make it.
Well, here's how I look at it. So when I was working, when I had my day job, like I'll say my desk job or whatever, HR&G was my passion, right? Because it was like a hobby or a project. And so I would go home and I would just like work on HR&G. And it was, we did it to give back to the community for like 2 years. We did it for free. And so that was my passion project. Then now that HR&G is my business, right? She Talks is my passion project. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's kind of like that. Not that I don't love and I don't pour my heart and soul into HR&G.
Yeah.
I still
like
love it just as much.
HR&G are very much the same. It's like it's
they
not
are
that much different to begin with.
They are, but I think people pay more attention to She Talks, and that's why people are like, well, you're putting out so much more content.
The reason why is because that's where your vibe is at, that's where your energy is at, and that is the part of your next level that you are cultivating because you're passionate about that.
I think I'm passionate about both, but I'm just saying I was hesitant to put out stuff about that. Number one, because people are sharing their stories and they're very personal, and so it's like you have to be careful what you're putting out.
However,
because of them,
those people would not be coming up on stage and asking or agree, depends on which angle.
That's true.
to be on stage if they weren't ready to share that story.
Right, but I'm saying like on social media and that sort of thing.
To me, it's the same. Careful. It's the same category. You go out on stage. I think it's more scary to share it off of stage because people are actually looking at you, and there are real people. Where on social media, you don't know who's seeing that.
I think social media is scarier, honestly, because think about it. On stage, you can see their reaction.
And sometimes, what if it's not good and you're like in your head about it?
That's why you just picture everybody in their underwear, and you're already like, man, how embarrassing. Like, they're just sitting there in their underwear. You know, like, it's, that's what you're told to do. But anyway, no, I think it's, gosh, I think social media is scarier because you don't know what kind of, I mean, at least in the audience, these people have either paid to be there, or you know these people, or somebody else that's speaking.
They're what's the word? Pre-qualified.
Pre-qualified, yeah. So I personally see you have no fear of the social media trolls and things like that.
That's because trolls. No, I don't care.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just because there's an age gap here. I didn't grow up with that.
Oh, that's fully trained.
No, but I'm saying. At the same time,
like
I
that's
have
an acquired skill. Like I've trained my muscle to like not be afraid or ashamed or whatever.
No, not that you're afraid or ashamed, but like
I
don't know how to explain it.
When I put out yesterday, oh my god, you should so see that.
All I'm saying is when you're a little bit older, it's like, okay, this person could be a real threat. Do you know what I mean? You might feel that way.
I block those people. Like anyone who is messing with my vibe, of course you can do that. I literally blocked out anyone that is that I don't want my content to see my content, because it's a little bit provocative due to the nature of what I'm doing. That's one thing. Hello, Mom.
Right, but isn't that a different?
Then competitors. I blocked out all competitors because I don't want for them to see what I'm doing, nor do I want to be messed with that idea of like seeing what they're doing, because it will mess me up thinking, oh, I need to be better. No, I'm not following those people, and I block them out. So that's another thing.
Okay.
I'm not anyone who is.
I thought you were a category of one.
A category of one is when you combine one thing and another, and you create your own category. For example, right now I'm carving a category for myself of business coach that is also a love goddess, right? So it's like completely opposite categories, and I'm creating my own category of, hey, let's run business, but let's do it in a sexy way. Who else is teaching that? I don't know of anyone who is teaching that. I'll be the one. So that's cool. What category of one means. You carve out your niche, and only you can do it, instead of being a copycat of like sharing what other people are doing, things the way other people are doing. As far as competitors, I mean, there are business coaches and other boudoir photographers.
Separate, right? Yeah, separated.
But, and it will, in the beginning, when I was still kind of like in the baby phase of my business and learning things, of course I was looking at other people, and of course I was comparing. But what's the word? Comparisonitis.
Is the thief of joy.
Right. I think that's the official word of the comparisonitis.
Comparison what?
Comparisonitis is the name of the disease. I'm just kidding. It's
comparisonitis.
Not
you
like
said ISIS. I was like, what? Comparisonitis. I think you meant.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, none of that here. So I found it very useful for me to not follow those people who are messing with my own idea, and I'm like putting myself like, oh, they're doing that, I should be doing, like, no, I'm not doing that.
That's smart.
Yeah. So like I put out my content,
I don't follow.
And I mean, yes, sometimes I get hate comments, and so what? Sometimes I delete them. Sometimes I keep them on purpose. Just to stir up more controversy.
Yeah, because more people will comment and be like, why are you being so mean? Go back to your keyboard or whatever. Like,
right.
But it's interesting because if you don't have haters and you don't have people that are like naysayers, or you obviously haven't arrived yet, is what
Right.
So
you're doing something right.
Because that's what you're telling me. I'm like, people are just like nasty, and you're like, that means you're making a difference.
Right.
And I'm like, that's right. That's right. Okay.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. So back to voices. Okay. What is the best way to share your voice, in your opinion, right now, in this day and age?
So we're
for
talking
business owner.
Business owner. Okay,
yeah, business owner. Well, we could talk about all different, but I think
Okay.
we'd start with the business owner.
This is literally what I teach in my business program, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my and this is how I'm building my agency around
Mm-hmm.
is sharing your voice counts into PR, so to say, because it's public relations. You are
Mm-hmm.
sharing your message with the world. You are putting a stake on the ground, and you're saying, "I am about that."
Right.
And people tap into your conversation, and they stick around for a longer time, and if they like that conversation, they want to continue around that conversation. Now it is not possible, it is possible, but it's not smart necessarily, to only use short form content like Instagram or Facebook or
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, because you only have a minute to 3 minutes to share a little bit about your beliefs. And people are there not for the purposes of really tapping into your content, but they're there for the purposes of just numbing themselves, scrolling through the feed, look at puppies. They're like not there for like deep conversations. However, the right people will still notice you if you are resonating with them in that particular way. And when the right people are noticing you, they want to learn more about you. So, what I teach is to funnel or to direct your people from social media. You can share your little message on social media, but make sure to expand it and make sure it redirects in form of a podcast or a blog or a book that you've written, or I believe in podcasting because it's such an easy way. It's easy format for me to listen as a consumer. I can just turn it on in the car. For me to watch those videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So if the person is really worth investing my time in, I will spend that time watching that person, sharing their message. And so what I teach is for people to use short form content, but redirect people into what I call the long form content,
Mm-hmm.
which is the podcast, YouTube, Substack nowadays, blogging, some form of a more of a legacy body of work that you're creating in this world to share your message.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say, and I hear this a lot, there's so many podcasts out there. How
Just like so many
am I going
social
to make
media.
myself stand out? That's the hard thing. I know, well, okay, and I know you can't answer me right now. I know, like,
Here's
you teach that, right?
So first of all, there is not necessarily a need for you to stand out. Like, what goal are you accomplishing? Is it a goal of you being so passionate and sharing your voice with the rest of the world? You not gonna necessarily be discovered on podcasts. You will
Right.
be touching lives of people who are in your daily life, and they get to tune into your message, and you're gonna grow through you have a networking group, right?
Right.
You are creating a circle of influence of people that personally know you. That's your advantage already.
Right.
Those are the people who are going to tune into your podcast if they resonate. It's not like you're trying to, and yes, there are success stories of these podcasts exploding, but this is not the goal here. The goal is to build the trust with existing people that you
Okay.
already know.
So then to get them to buy your product or your service
They
or
will
whatever from
tune
there.
into your message. Otherwise, how else would you can go to a coffee shop with them and have coffee dates, but they still want to hear what you stand for
That
and
takes,
what you're about.
yeah, that takes a
So
long time.
it takes
Individual.
building out relationships. So it's no different. And targeting your podcast to the rest of the world, while can work if done strategically, if done with proper usage of advertisement, if done with proper usage of positioning, especially if you are a category of one, because you have no competition when
Right.
you are a category of one. So there are ways to do that. But for regular people, so to say, that are asking this question, how do I stand out? The goal is not to stand out. The goal is to share with the people you already have in your circle, and you do. You probably have 100 buyers in your circle as is right now that will want to buy from you right now. And the only thing that's missing, they don't even know what it is that you are selling. That's one thing. And second, they don't know why they need to buy from you. That's the second thing. And the way you position yourself is you start sharing why you do what you do, why you sell what you sell, and how exactly are you helping people that are like you to change their lives. Because I believe every business is service, and people pay you for their life to be improved.
Right. So tell me about Substack.
Substack is something I'm still learning and exploring. So I would not call myself an expert on the subject yet. However, I love Substack because it's this integration of podcasting. You can literally move your podcast from a service, distribution service like RSS, where my original podcast is hosted, onto Substack, and you can still share the links, and you can still funnel people into this one. Like, imagine Substack is your one room for your long form content where you are inviting people in. It's one stop shop. It's not like, oh, watch a video on YouTube and then listen to podcast on this side, and then you instead of directing people in so many different areas, you keep it all together. And the way I am building my own Substack right now, I'm having a very specific conversation in stages, and it has a little bit of writing because I'm going to repurpose that into a book, and then a little bit of podcasting. And the way I'm using podcast is now to give updates on where my business is going, what business strategies I'm implementing, and how does it all also connects with the sensuality aspect of living life and having so much fun in life and business. Because if you do business dry, like, there's no fun in this. Like, I would have quit a long time ago.
Exactly, right? That's what everyone's like, why do you use emojis like in all your thing? I'm like, because emojis make it fun. Like, yes. I can't just like do like right and not put emojis in there. That like makes it fun. That's like my sort of my signature thing.
I resonate with specific coaches specifically who are like more into vibe and like this high vibe, like, versus strategic. Let's get strategic. This is what you need to go from plan A to plan Z. Let's do one to. And there is definitely something to it. I right now I have found two coaches that I cut everyone else out. Now I consume content from two coaches. One is very strategic oriented, who is like very much, this is how you do da 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 da, and she's very like, when I listen to her, I'm like admiring how she manages to like really put everything together in A, B, C, and D.
You're not going to tell us who it is.
No, I'm not going to tell you. And then the other coach is like, oh my God, let's do this. Like let's do lunch, and you gotta dance on your lunch, and like, oh, if you don't have passion in your business, like, I'm like, I love that from her, and I love that from her. And together there's a masculine side and there's a feminine side, and together, like, that's what makes it explosive. And like, that's
the yin and the yang.
Yin and yang, yeah. You have to have strategy, cool. But strategy is missing the vibe. Because when I only did strategy, my business wasn't really performing well because it was too dry and it was missing the energetics that like made it so passionate.
So hold on, strategy is masculine and energy is feminine?
Yes. Strategy is like,
there it is.
Look at masculine. So what is masculine? What is feminine? Masculine is like this linear way of like, imagine water, right? What masculine is, the glass for the water. Something needs to hold the water for the water to be usable, so you can drink it. So masculine is the bones, the structure, the framework. The water itself is feminine, but without the structure,
the ripples,
it's just everywhere, and you can't truly utilize it very well because it's dispersed, right? So
who decided that was masculine and feminine?
It's just the energetics of it. Water flows. And masculine creates the buildings, the structures, the foundations. Like, you gotta build the house, but as you're building the house, you want to fill it with like warm people and love and energy and coziness, and like, that's what feminine energy is about.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just very, it's right. We can build the house too, and it's like. But I know.
I was
what
just
I'm saying?
recording podcasts with someone else, and I think we hit that same point.
Like Rosie the Riveter, you know.
Yes.
But no, I'm just saying, like, who can, I mean, I guess originally men were the hunters and women were the gatherers, or what, however it was. I don't even know how that works out, but you know what I'm saying? But now it's like women have jobs too, and we still raise the kids, and we still do.
And now women like
whatever.
do 10 times what they were doing.
I mean, now men help with the kids and all that stuff. I mean, hopefully they do.
Also, did you notice the trend, the sad trend that is happening where masculine, like the true masculine, is dying out? The guys that's supposed to be all that strong and powerful, they now do their hair. Like, not to point fingers, but my son is middle school. They all into hair now.
Yes.
I was like, why? You like a girl? Like,
well, yeah, that's the whole thing. So, it's like manscaping.
Manscaping. By the way, on a subject of manscaping, like that's the way you
How do we get on these
topics? The wrong way. Like that's toxic masculine, unhealed toxic masculine. The whole manscaping, or what's the word? Manosphere.
Oh, totally different.
Oh my god, totally different. Okay.
This is a different topic now. Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast.
But
put a pin in that one.
Men are dying out in the way we women want the men to present themselves. I do believe once it bounces back and forth like this, we're gonna find a middle ground there, and women will be in their feminine and men will be in their masculine. But right now, like, women wanted their masculine, and that's how the whole feminism started. And then now women all working and having a family, and now masculine is dying out because women are independent, and now masculine doesn't know what to do with themselves because they lost, so to say, their place in life.
Well, so okay, you don't probably remember this because you were too young, but like in the 90s, right, we called it metro. Like a guy was so metro, like when he gelled his hair out, or he had like the Caesar cut or whatever, and then he would wear his collar popped or whatever, or he'd put like, he'd have a sweater and he'd have a collar pulled out or whatever, and we'd be like, oh, he's just metro or whatever, and it just meant like he worried about how he looked. But usually it meant like, oh, he's like on the way to being gay or something, something like that. But now it's just, oh, he's just whatever, trying to show that he takes care of himself or whatever. And it's like, anyway, that's like a whole nother subject. Anyway, back then we used to say, oh, he's just metro. Like, he's not gay, he's metro. And we used to say that, like, he just took care of himself. And now it's like just it's just like a known thing. Mm-hmm. But also it's just like a way of saying, like, whatever, oh, my girl likes me to look, my girl dresses me or whatever, or she likes me to wear cologne and have my hair this way or whatever. It's just a very much like, I think some women like it. Mm-hmm. This has to be a whole nother podcast because we could go on and on about this. We could. Checking the
so back to voices.
Back to women's voices. See, we can't like talk about women's voices without talking about men. But no, I just think the way this whole thing came about, I keep talking about this, is because I was like, I used to do this calendar when I worked for this marketing agency. And this is exactly how this is how She Talks came about. No joke. I don't even know if I told you about this, but I used to do this little calendar. So I used to go and look for all these really obscure holidays. And I was like, oh, International Women's Day. Didn't even know that was a thing.
What? We celebrate that in Russia every 8th of March.
I know, it's a big deal in Europe.
Huge.
It's not a big deal here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Until a couple years ago. And I was like, International Women's Day? Really didn't even hear a thing about it, except maybe like at Hallmark or something, And I'm like, interesting. So I put that on the calendar, and I was like, I'm going to ask people that work for big companies, what does your company do anything for this? Because I didn't even know. I was like, is there an International Men's Day?
Yeah, like, that's what I want to know.
There is. There's one in November. It's like November something. I can't even remember, but it's in November. And I'm like, that's crazy. Never even heard of either one. But so I asked these people, what does your company do for International Women's Day? So it was either, most of it was like nothing, didn't even know it existed. Or it was like, oh, an email goes out, thank you for being a woman. Or something like that, thank you. Or, they might do a post on social media, or they might do, like, this one company did something cool. I think it was like when Hershey started doing the Hershey. Like some candy bars, they put it in pink, the word her. And then other ones put in pink the word she, which I thought was really cool. So everybody got a candy bar, but that was only recently. Some people got like a note or something like that, like, thank you for all you do, thank you for being a women in business. But it was nothing. And then like one thing, a company would fly someone in and they would have an optional seminar in the other room for anybody that wanted to attend. And I was like, huh. So nothing's done locally, even the big companies. And I'm like, that is crazy. And so then I started doing research, and it's such a big deal in Europe and other countries. And it's because it's International Women's Day. And so I was like, this is crazy. They have like parades. They do all kinds of stuff. So what do they do that you know about in other countries?
For International Women's Day in Russia, men bring women a basket of flowers. It's like a symbol of spring. So my dad would always bring flowers for my grandma that lived with us, flowers for me, flowers for my mom.
Wow.
They would like it, and we would all gather as a family. Like it's a big family gathering, and we would celebrate. We would do a 3-course dinner, like sit around the table during the entire day, drink some.
Is it in March?
March 8th.
Yeah,
it's a thing. Yeah.
Wow,
it's huge.
That's so cool. Okay.
Yeah. But we don't celebrate Mother's Day like in we don't have Father's Day. There's Parents' Day, and usually on that day
you don't have Father's Day.
Don't have Mother's or Father's Day. There's Men's Day and Women's Day. That's it.
Not international.
Men's Day is tied to peace treaty from World War II, and like we celebrate like it's like the victory.
Interesting.
Whatever. So yeah, it's tied to February. It's on February 23rd that we celebrate Men's Day. And then on March 8th.
But there's Mother's Day
in America. And
you guys don't have Mother's Day and Father's Day. Okay, interesting.
I think now they started, I guess everything is starting to merge together. Like I was surprised my mom shared with me Happy Mother's Day this year. I was like, since when do you guys celebrate that?
So Mother's Day is different in England than in America. Well, obviously, I should say this since the 4th of July is coming up. My husband doesn't celebrate 4th of July, obviously, because we're claiming independence.
Even just for fun?
From them. No, he calls us ungrateful colonials.
Oh my God.
But it was so funny because I'm thinking back to when I, oh my gosh, I worked at Bath and Body Works, and we were open the 4th of, I think most malls are open the 4th of July, and I was helping these English guys way back. This is like a long time ago. And I said, and these were English guys, and I said, Happy 4th of July, like not even thinking. I was like, oh, maybe they don't celebrate. I was like, yeah, I don't celebrate, but he's off or whatever. So, or he gets, I think he's not off actually because it's the Saturday this year. But yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, ungrateful colonial.
So funny,
it is kind of funny, but that's why I'm representing, because England is, I can't keep up, but I know England and USA are just like in the finals or whatever for the World Cup. So we've been watching because he's really into soccer.
My son is watching it.
Yeah.
It's
my friend just went to the England game in Atlanta. She literally just.
I was in Atlanta while the game was there, but I didn't go for the game.
Yesterday?
Not yesterday, like 2-3 days ago.
Oh my gosh.
Over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
No, I think it was like Uzbekistan and Congo.
Oh my gosh.
They were playing in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So anyway,
wow. My friend was literally just there. Yeah.
But not for that
for the England game. Yeah. I was so
jealous.
I'm
not into any sports, but my son is obsessed. I think soccer players.
Yeah. My daughter loves watching it with my husband too. So yeah, she's kind of obsessed too. But anyway, we're digressing. So back to women's voices. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I had this vision of, I don't know, I just kept like thinking on it. And I was like, women should be able to tell their stories, because like women tell me things and I just kind of sit with it and it stays with me. And I'm kind of just a natural empath. Yeah. And they tell me things and I'm like, somebody else needs to hear this so that they can
and be
inspired and or relate to it. You know, other people could benefit from hearing the story. And so
also, when you share the story, you have a transfer, because you share the story. It allows you to
it's therapeutic.
Relive, reprocess, find a different angle, have a breakthrough that you haven't even thought of. So 100%. I believe it's important to voice that story out into the world, so you can pretty much put a stake on the ground and own it. Like,
well,
that's me, that I own that. That's part of my story. It's part of my life.
Right. A lot of people get closure from the
Yes.
past too when they
Yes.
share it with the world. They feel like
Yes.
it's now a story. It's not like
Yes.
they're reliving it. Or if it's like something traumatic, they're not reliving it over
Yes.
and over.
Also, when I lost my child and I just went through this traumatic experience, I started sharing I started writing blogs about this. And it was my way to process the
Hmm.
situation, and it was my way to share my angle with the world. That's how I started being in a public eye. I was
Hmm.
so afraid to like speak my voice, and I
Hmm.
started sharing just from the pain sake alone, and for me to like put it on a computer. It was therapeutic. It was allowing me to express myself, but it was mainly for me. And when I shared it with the world, at that point I was so low where I could like I at that point I stopped caring. Like there's nowhere lower I could fall. I stopped
Yep.
caring what people would think, and I just needed to express myself, and I put it out there for other people to read. And the feedback that I've started getting, instead of thinking, oh my god, they're gonna like start arguing with me and they're gonna start telling me how wrong I am and I don't have space or for it, instead of that, because that's what I was expecting,
Yeah.
I started getting encouragement and love and hugs and
It's
like
amazing. Yeah.
people supporting me. And I
Good.
realized, oh my god, like I've been afraid all this time to share my voice, and I feel so
Yeah.
free
See?
to share my voice. And that's how I started. Like at that time I was very reserved, right? Look at me now. You just said look at me now. I'm like sharing the like posts in lingerie on social media for everyone to see. But back then, like for me, it was even a stretch to like put my piece of a story on social media for public to see. So I've gone a long way, and each year
You
I
heard that?
become a little braver and a little braver.
You've heard that Virginia Slim slogan? You've come a long way, baby.
Mm-mm.
Virginia Slims, like the Slim cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
You don't see it
Oh
anymore because I don't think they're allowed to
yeah.
advertise that much. It's like, you've come a long way, baby.
Really?
That's like
I
that's the
didn't
logo.
know.
You've never heard that?
No.
Okay. I love telling you and my husband, because he grew up in England. Like,
Yeah, I used to smoke Virginia Slims
you did?
back in like forever ago. Yeah.
My husband, like when I tell him, I'm like, did you watch this growing up, or did you know this band? And he's like, no. And I'm like, you're like a freaking what was it, like you're like an alien from Mean Girls. You're like an alien. Like, you're so funny
Uh-huh.
because you grew up in Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but I just think it's cool that you don't know, so then I can tell you all about it.
Yeah, I love that.
But anyway, you've come a long way, baby. But but yeah, I think when they share these stories, it is it's healing, and it
Yeah.
can be closure, it can be many things. But my whole thing was I kept having this vision of kind of women taking the stage, and it was just like always, what's funny is my vision was outside, and this could never happen, but outside in the front of the Chrysler Museum, which could never happen, but it was seats. It was outside, but I kind of knew it had to be the Chrysler Museum, but it was like a beautiful setting. It was all these flowers, or so maybe or maybe I'm picturing the botanical gardens
so
or something at
cool.
one point, but that was kind of my dream. I'm getting
Yeah.
chills now talking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something like the botanical. Oh, maybe it's like when they open up that new space at the botanical gardens.
I
Or
don't
something.
know.
Yeah, maybe that'll be like not next year, but the year after. But I kept having this vision of these seats and people sort of like taking the stage, and it was just this beautiful setting, and people were dressed up, and it was just like just a beautiful, happy, kind of cathartic thing.
I have a question for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. What?
I know this was a dream for you back in the day, and you fulfilled the dream to an extent. Is there a big, you want to go bigger with it? What's the vision next for that?
I just want to keep it going, but I mean, I think, we kind of limited ourselves the last 2 years with the space. So yeah, we have to, like, I want to be able to fit more people, but at the same time, when you go bigger, it's, it's takes on it. It's I want to keep it. It's another level. So bigger isn't necessarily better, right? I want to keep it special. So it's almost like the exclusivity of it, right? So I don't see us doing like a stadium or anything like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what your vision is, where you want to take that.
I don't want to share that, but I do have a vision. I don't want to share that just yet, but I do have a vision.
Yeah.
I have many visions.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same.
for the future, but I don't think I want to share it just
That's
yet.
fine. Keep it.
But yeah, I'm just saying bigger isn't necessarily better. But I am looking at some different spaces for next year, and they are very, very exciting.
Nice. Okay. All right. We are all intrigued.
In fact, I just looked at one this week. Was it? No, Friday. Right after She Talks. I just looked excited. Very exciting. But yeah, I think just doing, wanting to do the podcast afterwards, because the first year they only got 3 minutes because there was 19 of them, and then the second year, and being able to do the She Talks once a month here just lets us go so much deeper, like with everybody.
Yeah,
it's been awesome. And then like this past week with Kim Vapp, I mean, we haven't heard from her. It's kind of cool just to see how they're doing. It's almost like a follow-up. Like, how they do like a talk show, or like they do like a reality show.
I never heard Kim's story. So to me, it was witnessing it for the first time. And what I love about this is that to me, before that, they're just women that I met at a networking event.
Yes.
After the event, it's women with hearts and stories.
Yes.
And like the experience,
then you really
I really get to know them, and I have so much respect and love for them because of that. And that is what sharing your voice does to other people. They open those people up, they open their hearts up. Now they know you, now they want to hear more from you, now you are their bestie, and they want to work with you. They want, especially if their story resonates.
Yeah. See, it's like
it's magical.
That's the coolest part. Yes. That's why I really wish you could be here on the 31st, because Dr. C's gonna be so good. Because you spoke with her last year.
Yes.
And I'm glad you got to hear her story, because her story is so good too.
Yes.
But yeah, it's the whole process has been just like life-changing for me, because I am giving a platform for women that have never had one before. And I mean, some are professional speakers and some are not. Now, last year I kind of hand selected. The first year I just said, who wants to come? I just put it out to anybody. Last year I almost somewhat hand selected everybody. Most everybody I knew already. And then this year I put it out again for everybody. And then I had to, unfortunately, limit it. But and then next year I think I'm going to do the same thing, but I think it has to be like 12 or less, because it goes too long. I thought about doing 2 a year, but I think
2 a year. No, that's too much.
You think
unless they're like completely different. They're not She Talks, and like She Talks and then something that is completely different from She Talks. And may not be as big. It'd be a little more kind of retreat. That would be so cool.
A retreat would be fun. But so then I think but then then we do the monthly thing, so then it's like we're already doing it every month.
But that's different. And I love how like it's shaping into something of its own. That's sort of okay. I've heard it from someone, like once you create your thing in the world, like you can't hold on to the thing and try to make it work for you. You like, because now it's not your thing, it's the world's thing.
Right.
And it's gonna grow in its own kind of manner, in its own kind of way, and it's gonna shape in its own, and like it has a life of its own.
That's right.
And that's fascinating to me. And I believe it's only going to be better and bigger, right? Like I never think in reverse, like, oh, it's going to die out. No, I don't believe certain things. We are digressing and that statement. But when you put your art, like, that's what I see it's your art, right? Like it's giving these women platforms. Now it's not necessarily you. Yes, you are still facilitator and director, and you give this thing a space, but it is mainly formed from the energies of other women who give it the vibe, the juice, the energy, right? Like, and you can't, like, you just have to trust, like, and like be like, yes, do good things for me here. You are here to serve others. Like, I don't know what you are and who you are, this energetic ball of whatever we created, but I believe in you. Like, go do best things that you can do for other women.
It has taken on a life of its own, but it's been so much fun, and You know, we should have the women on the podcast too. We talked about that, didn't we?
I
would need to do that too.
Well, what we should do is maybe start launching, although they're not necessarily recorded in a format that is fully shareable. We can still do it though. The podcast, all the videos that we've recorded, they should be started going out and being released.
Yes,
that's what needs to happen.
That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but we already have so much material.
Maybe we splice them up.
And that's what you should be sharing on She Talks.
I know.
Page.
In my spare time. Whew. But so yeah, anyway, I think yes. As we're talking to ourselves about our stuff, personal stuff, which we like to. But yeah, so back to women's voices. I have my notes here. So let me see how we get sidetracked so badly, and I can't even get my thing. Okay. So women's voices, back to why it's so important to share. Keep talking, Katya, while I get this to work.
So I think Markella's voices revolve around what are some subjects you wanted to talk about? Like there was something in politics. Politics? Was there something?
No, I do not want to talk about politics. Hold on, I gotta put this here or else I'm not gonna be able to.
I do not. Okay, what are the areas you want to kind of like stick to as far as women's voice business? Well, we talked about business and why women need to share voice in business and what it does for business. By the way, I have a podcasting workshop coming up. I don't know.
I was going to ask you about that.
I don't know if I'm able, if this podcast will be released by the time the workshop, because it's literally in in like 4 or 5 days. But I know we're gonna have a podcasting workshop again. But the one that's upcoming is on the 7th of July on Zoom, and it is coming. And this is where, if you are a business owner, I will teach you how you can use your podcast. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a double podcast. When I say podcast, I really mean solo cast, and you can invite other people to your podcast. But to me, it's mainly your platform for sharing your message. And when you share your message in a certain way, in a certain order, you are able to warm up your people, your tribe, that will turn from, so to say, cold prospects into raving fans, because they love your message, they resonate with you, and now they know who you are and what you do, and now they know that you solve the problem that they need, that they're seeking to be solved, and they are ready to buy from you. So the way I'll be teaching this workshop is how to generate leads, people who are obsessed with you, your message, and want to buy from you, and you use your podcast or any other form of long form content like YouTube or Substack to accelerate that path from know, like, and trust.
Is it the same or different from the in-person one that we just
did?
So
the in-person one ended up being mainly the audience that we have coming in was more of a mission. I don't know, like nonprofits were interested in doing the workshop, and the way
they weren't all nonprofit.
They weren't. I ended up mainly talking in terms of mission and voices. And I realized that I really want, and why, and it was my own learning experience too, that my passion lies in my golden genius is in helping business owners use their voice to generate clients. And so now we are doing the second, let's call it a version. There will be some similarities, but I mainly want for business owners to be part of this workshop. And the way I named it, the way I structured it, it's attracting business owners this time.
Yep. Is it on Eventbrite?
It is on Eventbrite, yep.
Okay, perfect. And that's, the date is?
This July 7th. What is it, 10 a.m.? 10 a.m. on Zoom.
No,
I think it's 10 a.m. because I think we had the studio conflict and I had to move it really early.
Same time.
I know.
Darn it, I thought it started right when I finished LinkedIn training. I can't make it. Are you recording it though?
Yeah.
You are going to record it?
Yeah.
So I can watch it after. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so just a couple key points, like some notes that I took. Women bring valuable perspectives that can shape fairer policies and stronger communities.
Very true.
Because there's strength gather,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Speaking up helps raise awareness about important social issues such as equality, education, healthcare, and safety.
Women bring the perspective that men don't have. Women bring the perspective of being mothers, of where children fit into the conversation. Women bring inequality issues, or at work, pay difference. Like, I don't know. Women bring their own angle to the conversation that, let's call it, the big world is having. And women get to say, hey, this is not right, and I want this to be solved. Yes. And we can do it as a society. We can make the change. Yeah.
This is what we talked about earlier. Using your voice can inspire others to take action and change. Sharing personal experiences helps understand real world.
Yeah.
This is where, like, I think the people that get the best response, right? I think
podcasters,
just across the board. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily podcasters, but just talking about female voices right now. So, like, the ones that are like,
I don't see how inauthentic people would be drawn towards this, because it requires passion and dedication.
No, I'm saying the ones that get, I'm thinking of all media.
But oh my god, what was that?
My foot, sorry.
I was like,
I'm saying the ones that put out content of any sort.
How about we're gonna say this? Authenticity wins no matter what.
Yes.
Because people can tell if you are faking it, if you're surface level, if you're struggling. Like, we read energy and it is pretty obvious. And if you are not coming from the right reasons, that's the energy you emanate, and we can feel it. So authenticity is the highest frequency you can embody of yourself, and people can feel you through that process.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Why are you so like, why do you, I just can't not, so I can't, I'm done with.
Yeah, no.
Like, that was like my retail version, like retail me.
Yeah.
And I did that for like 15 years, and I just can't be,
right.
I can't be like a Walmart greeter or whatever. I've never worked at Walmart, but I'm just saying, like, I just can't be that person.
Right.
I know anymore. I did it for too long.
Yeah.
Okay. Women can advocate for equal rights and opportunities, like such as schools, workplaces. Yeah. We can use social media to we can use it responsibly to educate, inform, and encourage discussions, obviously.
Yeah.
We can do that through your podcast too.
Yes.
Community groups, we can use that for volunteering or provide opportunities to speak up for important causes. Now this talks about politics, voting, contacting, participating in public discussions, are powerful ways to make a difference. Supporting and amplifying other women's voices strengthens collective impact. Also supporting others' businesses, kind of like how we do the books.
Yes.
Well, obviously, I've got, like,
okay, I have an idea.
What?
Of how we can use our voice to support our other businesses. Just share. If you had a good experience with the person you work with, Google review, or just sharing this on Facebook, or just like share it with other people in your circle so they know. It is so important to know who is a good business and who is not a good business. Like, how many times we're seeking to hire someone and we don't know, do we trust the Google review? How many of those are fake? Or like trying to get a product on Amazon, like how many of those reviews are fake, right? So so we want to hear from other people who have tried the product, who we trust, to know whether it's a worthy thing or not.
They say that if you have a bad experience, you'll tell like 5 people, but if you have a good experience, you'll tell like 1 person or 2 people. But I feel like trying to stay away from the negative energy and just...
Okay, I have a thing to say on that. I used to be the person who had some bad experiences, and the first thing I would do is go give them 1-star review on Google. All right. So this is how
come back to haunt you.
This is how it came back, because karma is a bitch. Literally the same day I gave 1-star review, like this happened on 3 occasions. Okay, I gave 1-star review to those things or businesses. Every time, either the same day or the next day, somebody would be pissed off about some stupid thing that they never even worked with us, and like they're not even our clients, and they would go and be mad about it, and it would return back to me. So I have given myself promise that like energy is energy is energy is energy.
Yeah.
If I give that bad energy by like being in that bad energy, giving that 1-star review to someone, and yes, maybe they did do me wrong, but if I stay in that energy, I will receive it back pretty much instantly. So I given myself a promise, and it, by the way, I'm not saying that it's not easy to keep that promise. I'm not saying like every time something happens, like I want to share this, and I was like but I've given myself promise to not do that anymore.
Well, stop calling karma a bitch and just call karma a mirror. Like it's literally a mirror. You're just like whatever you put in the mirror, it's going to reflect back on you, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So karma's not really a bitch.
Yeah. Well,
because you're still putting negative energy out there by calling karma a bitch, right?
I don't think so. But you're not wrong. It is a mirror because everything is a mirror.
Call me a bitch.
We are.
No, look at me.
Bitch.
Bitch. See?
No, it's funny.
No. Say something nice. Say something nice.
Oh, I love your hair.
Oh, I love your hair. See, different, right?
Yeah.
Made you feel different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The point
karma's not a bitch.
The point is it's like what you create, like because you are energetic creator, what you create. So I created this 1-star review from my 1-star experience. Well, guess what? I'm in that energetics, and that's what I attract, another 1-star into my life. And I became smarter about this, and I just given myself a promise to not do that. I would.
What do you do instead? You talk to the manager?
Yes, I'm trying to like. Actually, I do need the resolution of some sort. I want at the very minimum to be heard. Yes. And acknowledged,
right?
And say, yes, I agree with you. This was wrong, right? And that is sufficient for me, right? Like I just want to share that this is the experience, because as a business owner, I would know if something bad went on in my business. I would want to know, and I would want to improve the process. So I know that my feedback is valuable to another person. What I don't like happening is when I receive no reply, no response, and it's obvious that the business does not even care about their customers. That's why I don't do that business with those places.
Sure.
And I tell other people to not either. And that's how it comes back to me.
But, well, and that's important to you to share your voice in that way.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to the voice.
Yes.
And the karma being a mirror.
Yes.
A mirror.
Yeah.
And not a bitch.
Yeah.
And even like some people are like, God, who was it the other day that was like, you think I'm a bitch? You think I'm, and I said, I would never call you a bitch. And I'm trying to remember who it was now. It was somebody I just met. And I was like, but we kind of had this thing, and we were like, we knew we were cool with each other. But like my daughter was sitting right there, and like she, I let her listen to stuff, that I probably shouldn't. So does my husband, like, and it's all cussing, and it's all this and that. And it's like, man, when I was 10, I mean, I don't know. I had MTV, and I was exposed to stuff I shouldn't be, I guess, whatever. But I mean, I turned out, perfect.
Yeah.
But
you're exposed to life.
Exactly. I mean, she's, she watches Wednesday and Harry Potter and all that stuff. But she's like, you're over here thinking I'm a bitch. It's like the least thing that I think about. But it's like now it's just thrown around so crazy, and it's like not even a big deal.
Yeah.
But and then somebody else, Kim, that's what it was. My whole thing with cussing. And speaking your truth. Kim said, oh, can I say that? She said a cuss word. And, nobody flinched in the audience. I said, this is She Talks. Like, I'm not going to censor you.
Yeah, I remember that.
But there was a whole thing with, 2 years ago with She Talks. And somebody asked if they could cuss. And I said, well, maybe not the F word. Still going. Maybe not the F word, but, just be, maybe don't throw it out that much, but just be gentle, just know that some people are a little more sensitive. And then somebody else that was speaking said, absolutely not. That is not ladylike. And I said, well, I kind of disagree because this is, we're all adults, we're not censoring here. We're all over 21.
Yeah.
And we're not in church, and so there was a little bit of a hubbub.
I remember that situation.
You were there, right?
I was there, yeah.
That was yours.
No, it wasn't me who asked about cussing. It was someone else.
No, but that was your year.
It was my year, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I was a little torn about it, but I did say, so I'm torn, right? I'm really torn because I want people to be themselves.
Oh yeah, I would choose authenticity over anything for sure.
But also, I don't want to tell people what to say or what not to say. So basically, I think the way it came up was because I was saying, hey, tread lightly, because there was a lot of stuff going on in politics and the world with religion and politics. And I said, tread lightly on religion and politics, the two things you kind of want to stay away from in a lot of conversations, right? I said, tread lightly on those two topics. You don't want to alienate the crowd because you want them to continue to listen to you, right? And I said, I didn't say don't say it. I just said, tread lightly. And that's what brought it up. Someone said, what about cussing? And I said, it's okay. And then I remember the first speaker, I don't know if she dropped an F-bomb or I don't know if she was there for the walkthrough at all, but she just like came in like, guns blazing. Yeah. And I was like, and it was fine. Everybody kind of laughed.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty funny. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about
cussing?
No, not just cussing, but just like in a setting like that. Because we were at a country club the last 2 years. I mean, the whole thing is women speaking their truth.
I choose authenticity.
Being uncensored.
Yeah, if she's cussing like a shoemaker, like I'll embrace her. That's
a shoemaker.
That's the expression.
Oh, here it's like a sailor, I think.
Oh, or that, yeah. So again, authenticity over anything. If cussing is the way you express yourself, people feel the vibe, not the words.
Right.
Right? Over filtering yourself.
Right. Well, and I feel like I don't know how to say this.
I cuss all the time. I can't even notice that I'm cussing.
Should we leave politics out?
I do believe religion and politics for sure, because like not necessarily like
that's a tough one, right?
Here's an example.
Because a lot of people refer to God.
Right. The coach that I loved was only speaking business, and lately in the whole category of one movement, she started talking
of what movement?
Category of one.
Yes.
She started implementing faith in Christian faith, and it alienated. I can never pronounce that word. Me as a student, and I loved her as a business coach.
Yes.
But because she's into faith in Christianity, like that's not my thing, and like I do not want to see those two together. So now she's maybe attracting her own tribe, and that's wonderful. But she has cut me out. So yes, religion and politics, definitely those very divisional subjects. Like they need to be discussed only in certain settings, and I don't think if She Talks is that. Right? We are mainly about our own personal life, not so much the politics.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't recall anybody talking about politics, but definitely, people mention their religion or how God, and I'm
mentioning religion is fine, but there's a difference when you say, Him saved me, we understand. Like I would understand that woman, and I would still relate to her in my own way, because I think of God as like it's the same one, whether it's her Christian God or my metaphysical God. But there's a difference when she's expressing herself in that way, and when she's standing here and say, the God is only one way or the highway. Like this is everyone else is doing it wrong.
No, I don't think they would ever. They would not say that. Yeah.
Right. So the second part is what everyone needs to be staying away from. But if that's how, like, for example, we just had a speaker a month prior. She was very much into Christian God, and it did not at all affect me because I saw how her life is empowered because of her being tapped into her own version of God.
Sure.
But she did not stand here and say, this is the only way, right? Like she shared her story through her Christian lens perspective, to which I still could relate very much and support her and be excited for her.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a difference in how you say what you say.
But she's also very open to other, she's very respectful of other religions too. It's not like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the difference.
I think what makes us grow is learning about other religions and just learning. I mean, I'm so interested in the way other cultures live and everything. I think it's just so cool.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, I think as long as you're open to, yes, You know what I'm saying? As long as you're open,
Yeah.
then I think that makes a difference.
Yeah.
But I think we're probably way over time here.
We need to wrap up. This one is a long one.
Well, I mean, it's about
yeah,
speaking your truth and speaking your voice.
A
but
loaded topic for us.
But yeah, I think we got a lot of stuff. We got put a lot of stuff on the table. But I think to wrap it all up, authenticity.
Yeah.
Speaking your truth.
Yeah.
Making sure you don't alienate people.
Yes.
What other takeaways?
Just start sharing your voice. I think that's the main purpose that I wanted for this podcast to alive and in
no matter the platform.
No matter the platform, it's really about you stepping and owning your voice, your story, and sharing it with the rest of the world, because the world needs to hear it from you.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid of not looking good. Don't be afraid of people judging you. Just go and do it, because there will be others who are just waiting for a breakthrough, and it only meant to come.
And if you need help, call us.
We'll teach you how to do podcasts.
We'll make it so easy. Or just listen in. Oh my gosh, what if they're coming to my LinkedIn training? They can't do both.
Oh, I see what you mean.
We could sort of have it on in the background. No, I'm just kidding. We can't.
Don't they have like TV or something? Like,
no.
We could just start with listening to Katja's training first, and then we'll transition.
My partner has become my competitor. How dare you? I already have to compete with like so many other events during my events, and now it's Katja. How dare you?
All right, ladies. Thank you for being here and tuning into our podcast on voice. Markella has the final word here.
Come to my LinkedIn training on Tuesday at the same time as her free podcasting. It's at Lansdowne.
That's not the conclusion here.
Yes, it is for me.
Final word, Markella. We need the final word that we're gonna give.
Final word. Ladies. Go England.
By the way, for those who listening to this on audio and not seeing the video, she's wearing white and blue hoodie. Is it a hoodie?
It's not a hoodie.
It's a sweater. It's a sweater.
I don't wear hoodies.
Says London.
That's a lie.
Yep.
I do wear hoodies sometimes
because of the soccer thing. So that's what she's
FIFA.
Referring to.
I mean, go USA too, but also go England.
Thank you everyone for listening.
We'll talk to you guys soon. We'll see you soon. Yep.